Last time I talked about being kind of feeling the loneliness, feeling the need for companionship, and kind of that lack of joy and the pressure that came from people around me. That theme kind of continued through the middle of the past week as well. Like still not feeling that joy that I expected to feel, feeling kind of flat most of the time. And even after I went to the park, I would literally text my friends and saying, I kind of want to come back to the Bay Area and just hang out and see them. I miss them. And I don't feel like I am made to be a solo traveler. I would go into the park and I would still feel flat. I'm enjoying momentarily the things that I'm doing, like the activity that I'm doing. If I am on my bike, I'm enjoying it. If I'm scrambling rocks, I'm enjoying it. But then the moment I stop, the moment I pause, all of that joy all of a sudden disappears as if I didn't just enjoy myself. So I sit and I find myself reflecting a lot on a past relationship that I had. And I understand kind of it's like a chicken and egg problem. Did I come to Joshua Tree because I'm kind of wanting to reflect on that relationship, or am I reflecting on that relationship because I came to Joshua Tree? The reason I mention this is the only time I came to Joshua Tree before was with that partner. And so I'm walking around, I'm doing hikes, I'm climbing rocks. I'm reminded of her visually and audibly as I walk through the park. I see her running around. I see us chatting. I hear our conversation. I hear our laughs. And that kind of was interesting because it presented a dichotomy of kind of joyous moments that I kind of that is anchored in that relationship, and as well as kind of painful, regretful feelings that I'm feeling right now for that reason that's a past relationship. So yeah, I reflected. I would sit a lot and I would find myself chatting with myself about it. The other kind of contrast that I felt was walking two different paths. One in which I actually walked with my ex-partner, and the other is a new first time I experienced path. And that contrast was kind of interesting to see, where like the new paths had no context whatsoever. And again, I enjoyed it in a new ways. I felt it. The discovery of that path, the discovery of that like rock at the end of that path, was kind of joyous, and they didn't have that mix of pain and love intermingled with it. So it was kind of like a separate experience. Whereas, as I mentioned, the other path kind of took me. It was more of a reliving of a memory rather than actually experiencing it. I didn't feel like I'm experiencing something new. To each was their own kind of positives and negatives, and I kind of try to appreciate both. I've also noticed that I'm reaching out to activities and things that I also relate closely to that relationship, the things that I've done with that partner, and now I'm noticing that I'm reaching towards these activities to do. And it kind of unconsciously, but reflecting on it, it feels like it is kind of related to that processing that I'm doing. I reach to my football ball, my soccer ball, if you're somewhere who says soccer. And I would play around with that. And that's something that I used to do a lot with my partner. We would go places, we would go to beaches, and we would just like kick around the ball. It's a gift I gave to her at some point, a football ball, a soccer ball. And then there is also the place that I picked, and the place that I feel like I'm drawn towards right now, even though I wasn't planning on going. But I am drawn to go to San Diego this coming week and spend a week there, which is, again, it was part of that trip that we did together, where we went to Joshua Tree and then we went to San Diego for another week. So I feel like I'm just like wanting to relive that trip, or I don't know exactly But yeah, the other thing that I noticed that I did reach out to is reading this book, Six at Dawn, and it's a book. It tells you how long have I been reading this book. That it's my, I don't know, 2 years has been past now. 2 years of relationship, old relationship. I have been reading this book too, and I haven't finished it yet. So it's been like 3 years now that I'm reading this book. It was a gift from one of the partner, and I don't know if it was a gift. It was a borrow probably, but we haven't talked, so I assume it's a gift now. Maybe I'll return it once I finish it, if I finish it. Anyway, I find myself reading this book a lot in this trip, and actually making progress and actually enjoying it. And because it's one of the things I also did with my ex-partner, where we would go again to beaches, sit around, and I'll start reading some of this to her, and would start commenting and laughing on it, because it has a lot of kind of comically written sentences, and this is it argues against the normative narrative of kind of sexual history of prehistoric man, human, Homo sapien, and how the current narrative is wrong, and so it tries to provide circumstantial and experimental evidence against it, and so it argues that we used to be polyamorous and promiscuous sexually, and not like the current narrative of monogamy and possessiveness. I really like this book, and I just really suck at reading books, and I'm trying to finish this one. This is from the chapter called The Prehistory of O. So apparently hysteria was one of the first kind of diseases to be described formally in the 4th century BCE. So it was, of course, diagnosed for women all the time. And so the doctors, the way they treated it was to literally masturbate the women until orgasm. And that's how they cured hysteria. By in 1873, it was estimated that 75% of American women needed this treatment. It's constituted the single largest market for therapeutic services. Imagine. Doctors would give that service. So yeah, the symptoms of this disease was, of course, identical to sexual frustration and chronic arousal, anxiety, sleeplessness, irritability, nervousness, erratic fantasy, and sensations of heaviness in the abdomen, lower pelvic edema, and vaginal lubrication. Disease. These were ideal patients, after all. They didn't die or recover from their condition. They just kept returning, eager for more treatment sessions. So yeah, I mentioned the physicians, the doctors didn't actually like performing it. So they always, like with their fingers, so they always kind of tried to use other devices, including a sewing machine, a fan, a tea kettle, I don't know, a toaster, I have no idea. And number 5 was the vibrator. It was the 5th electrical appliance approved for domestic use. By 1917, there were more vibrators than toasters in American households. They had like an ads like, all the pleasures of youth will throb within you. Which is, yeah, good for you. So yeah, as I was saying, I feel kind of drawn towards things that are repeatable things that I have experienced with that relationship, and it makes me wonder and gives me pause a lot. Enough about my relationship woes. Let's talk about music, because I mentioned that the beginning of the week was a little bit still kind of not finding the joy, kind of the experience that I wanted to experience, until I played music in the park, and I started literally feeling a lot better. I keep forgetting how much power music have over me and over my mood. I got reminded again with this power as I played music while hiking, and my entire life kind of, there was like, you know, like how you see these movies where they make colors come to life. It felt like that but in sound, I guess, or in experience. I don't know what it is. And so I played music, and what was the song that I really liked a lot? It played automatically. It has been stuck, and now I can't fucking remember the song. بتناديني تاني ليه انت عاوزة مني ايه ما انتي خلاص حبيتي غيري ما انتي خلاص حبيتي غيري روحي للي حبتيه يا شيخة روحي للي حبتيه. Yeah, that song. And then the same day that my mood improved, I went and parked in a new spot on a new BLM land south of the park. There I parked next to this trailer, which turned out it was a French couple who were doing the same thing. They left their apartment and like they're just traveling around, and they're making their way back to Vancouver. They were awesome. So we kind of chatted at first, and the next day we grabbed a beer together and another beer together the next day. And we hung out by the stars. It was really kind of nice getting to know people who kind of on a similar journey. They were one of them was a photographer, and the other was a musician and a construction worker. That also definitely added to my betterment of mood. I think one of the things that I wanted of doing solo traveling is meeting other people and being open to meeting other people and building the courage to kind of like approach people and getting to know them, because that's still something that I struggle with. Without the guy being a social butterfly, as they described him, we would have probably not talked. I have probably parked and stayed in my bus and I not talked to him or to them. And so that was really nice. And then they left 2 days later, and I stayed for another night and then left to another spot here near the Salton Sea. The other person that I connected with, someone experiencing homelessness in North, has been living in North BLM for 2 years, basically camping out of their cars. And we have been texting, and it's kind of like an interesting experience hearing the experience of their daily life. Because their car broken, he had to walk, I think, like for hours to go get groceries and water, and then come back walking, carrying all of that weight. So it's a little bit intense. In honor of music, we will do music year in review that everybody's sharing on Instagram, including me. My music in review, if I can find it. If you have been following me, you know my top artist has been the Synaptic this year, and YouTube Music confirms that. My top song was Kamarhen for Synaptic, which goes like, how does it go? Like, يا قلبي يا غاية شوق الحبايب يا طريق. Oh, what is my favorite مقطع? بعرف الدنيا غريبة واحنا بسرعة بس جد مآمنها يا عقيدة مش سامع كلام الناس. قولي لي كيف بدي أكون سعيد من غير أهداف. قولي لي كيف ما قضيش ساعات وأنا سرحان ولسه شبابيك مسكرة الوسخ على الأرض والخزانة مكسرة. عشكرة جوا الإحصار حاول أمشي على المسطرة انسى اللي صار حاول دون على دفترك وصلنا كمفترق نلتقي اليومك هدوء ولك فش حتكي. ويا عنيد يا يابا عندي شمس ضبابا. Yeah, but the general theme of my music in review was Levant Rap, which I have been listening a lot to. I've been mind blown by the new talents that is coming on every day, that I'm just like finding every day. The latest is Iliam, and his song with Tamer Nafar and Big Hass, Ego Bilkilo. Check it out, it's awesome. One of my favorite verses, let's find it.
مش الثاني او الثالث انا كاسر الباب حارق اللعبة غاني بتوصل ساحل العاد زي باسل الحاد مش لازم تشحازي عالطالع من نازل مشاكل احتاج بالهالوين بلبس قناع انسان ضايع بالربع الخالي لا الاقي نص التاني رجع الشباب لورا لاني جاي اقدم حالي حكي بلا فايده زي القرض ببنك اسلامي اصحابه بيحكوا انه خان مع انه مش باكستاني موهبه احكي لي اعطيك لو مع كاش بحكي مع نيكول بتحكي لي بس مع كاش بحكي لاني بحكي مع نيكول بس مع كاش نفتح موضوع اسالك من وين واحكي احسن ناس لو مولود بشرم بسبح لو بالهرم بزحف بعمل سحب على سياره وبعدين بسحب بعدين بصوت بعدين بطخك بعدين بفوت المذيعه بنحكي لا بفوت معي كريم كوتك لانه كل ما تستني الصدمه ما حتشوف حالك غير بمرايا زي ياسر العتمه لانه كل ما تسعى للكمال بتنقص شغلي ايوه هيك بضغط على اللعبه وهي
غلبني أما ليه
ايوه صعب افوت الجاكيت بالباكيت عملت فيلم وانا زحف عكلكيت جبت هاني لانه متوازي
حيوسيني لو بكيت
مش جاي اثبت حاجه ولك انا مريض جاي اثبت حالي ولك براسي في عرس ورايح في الصاله ولك نص حياتي بالسما نص على الارض كابتن ماجد ولك بيسالوني عن العم سام ولك بعرف بيك سام بعرف ايش تاع البلد ولك بيسالوني عن الرابر تاع دام ولك بعرف ايش كنت كان عارف تامر ولك بمشي بدفتر الشرطه بفكرني محرص بفتش لما بعمل اشي بس وجهي لحالي بركز بترب لازم تتعلم بالاول لا تعرف تعلم وتدرس بحالتي بتقدرش تقلد بس بتتفرج وتزقف
حياتي نصها بالهوا نصها بالسماء ونصها على الأرض كابتن ماجد ولك. That's really funny. Anyway, yeah, I've been listening to a lot of Levant Rap, and so check out Synaptic, Msallam, Big Hass, Tamer, of course, Dam, of course, 47 Soul, maybe not a rap, but Levant nonetheless, Shamstip. صراحة الأغنية الثانية بطل عالم لمروان موسى. How does it start?
مفيش شبهي في بلدك قارن ورقي بورقك بلدك المفضلة بنما دنيا ومليش عزيز مرقة وانا كالماريو جيت اشعلل جيت اكسرك وجيت اكعبل قالولي ايه الغرض ليه مستعجل.
الرف is number 3 for the Synaptic again. How does it go? وقلبي مزهرية ليلكية كل البدية تعدي الليلة عليا صرت كاتبة بجدية لا تقريني ولسه راكد على النار الحم يغريني من بارح تارك قلبي على الراف على الراف على الراف. إدا با إدا با إدا با إدا أو 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 إدا با إدا با إدا با إدا با إدا با إدا با إدا أو أو أو. Yeah, so that's enough about music. But if you guys want me to do a list of music that I listen to and like do a reaction to it, let me know and I'll make it happen. Because just one like will let me know. I'm kidding. Yeah, the last thing I wanted to talk about is to share a project with you that I've been working on, still working on. It's called Repeat Routine, and it's this mental health-oriented app for building routines in your life. And especially when this is something I do that a lot. This is something I care about a lot, and it helped me find a little bit of comfort and balance in my life during pandemic, where I was spiraling down. It was inspired by this video called Stoic Meditation. I can link to it in the description. And it was literally a YouTube video that I start every morning, and it tells me exactly what to do. It tells me like you have 1 minute to get out of bed, 1 minute to make your bed, 2 minutes to brush your teeth, etc. And it walks me through these things, and it helped me a lot just being told without thinking what I need to do next. And so that helped me get out of bed a lot of the time when it was really hard not being able to get out of bed. I used a similar app that does this, but it was gated behind a monthly subscription, which is something I really dislike. When people, hide mental health related, specifically apps, behind a gate, and services as well, like hiding. Yeah, I think mental health should be a human right, and we should all be able to access it easily. So yeah, I started building that app using a framework called Flutter on top of a programming language called Dart by Google. And mostly I've been just learning because this is the first time I use like Flutter. And I managed to publish the app on Google Play. So if you're an Android user, go try it out. It might not work at all. My sisters report that they're just seeing a white screen. So انت وحظك. But I hope it works for you, and if it doesn't, let me know. I need help building it, so if you're also would like to help build it, let me know. It'll be fun to work together and learn Flutter together. Yeah, so the app basically allows you to create routines, add tasks to these routines, and then in play mode, when the alarm comes off, it'll show you one task at a time. Wake up, get out of bed 1 minute, and starts counting down, and etc. Like until you finish with the routine. Yeah, I'm excited to keep building it and actually making it work, because it's not really working well at this point, but it's in progress. That's kind of all I wanted to talk about. I leave you with a reading of a quote from the same book about penises. Sometimes a penis is just a penis. We are right to note the license and disobedience of this member, which thrusts itself forward too inappropriately when we do not want it to, and which so inopportunately lets us down when we most need it. It imperiously contests for authority with our will. It stubbornly and proudly refuses all of our incitements, both of the mind and the hand. This is by Michael. Yeah, on the penis. His, presumably. Bye.